What is going on, everybody? This is EA bringing you guys another video today, and I'm going to be talking about how I passed the insurance exam and how you can pass too. So after I had completed my course material, the next step was to take the state exams. And I'm a resident in North Carolina, so all of our exams were individual. If you wanted to take the property test, you can take that by itself, casualty test by itself, life, health, and so on. I know in some states they do make the property and casualty tests put together in one, and same with the life and health. But again, my state's individual, so it was easier to kind of break down each test one by one as I was getting my producer license. So I had a couple months before taking the state exams, and what I was doing is really using the course material to study from. I used Quizlet, but I didn't realize this until a couple weeks before taking my first test for property that my course material actually came with a resource called ExamFX. And this is really what I want to harp on because this is what really helped best prepare me for the exams and what I feel will best help you for the exams. When I found out that I had ExamFX, by the time I registered and got ExamFX running, it had 3 different courses to study from. You had flashcards, practice quizzes, and practice tests. Now, on these state exams, 10 to 20% maybe at most are going to be based off definitions. Everything else is, for the most part, concepts and scenario-based questions. So I knew those were going to be the questions that I really wanted to practice on. And don't get me wrong, I still study the flashcards, I still use the practice quizzes, but taking the practice exams over and over and over again is what really helped seal that information in my brain. Because a lot of these questions are what ifs. They'll give you a scenario, they'll give you a concept, and then you're supposed to figure out which of those coverages cover in those scenarios. And while definitions are great, scenario-based questions is really what you want to put your focus on when preparing for these state exams. So what I personally did after studying through the course material, after studying through Quizlet a bit, it helped kind of build the foundation, kind of gave me a base to start off on. And so when I signed up for ExamFX, what I personally did and what I recommend for anyone else out there ready to prepare for their exams, take the practice exams over and over and over again until you start averaging about 80s every time you take it. Once you're averaging about 80 or above every time you take the practice exams, that'll help prepare you on getting ready for those scenario-based questions. So I did that for each of my individual tests. Like I said, because I'm in North Carolina, each of them are an individual test. So before taking my property test, I would take the practice exams over and over and over again until I was averaging 80s. And then when I would sign up for the exam, I would take it. And doing this really helped me pass with ease. I passed my property and casualty test after the first try. For the human aspect of it though, one thing that I recommend is the night before your exam, definitely get lots of rest. Make sure you are well rested, your brain is ready to go. And the day of the test, what I would do is I wouldn't take any practice exams before the test. I didn't want to fry my brain, get any burnout. I wanted to make sure that I was going into these exams with a fresh mind. So what I would do is make sure that the night before, I got plenty of rest. The morning of, I made sure to eat a really good and balanced breakfast. And then by the time I was ready to take the exams, had a fresh mind, I felt great, and I was ready to pass the test. Personally, took each one individual as well. If you want to set up multiple tests in a single day, go for it. I'm not saying that you had to do what I did. This is just kind of how I personally set up passing these courses. So there it is. I know it was short and sweet, but this is what I personally did to get my producer's license in all lines of insurance. I hope this information helps, and good luck with passing your exams.